Why, hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk.
Mostly
drunk. As always, I am joined by my co-host and brother Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful, wonderful. I am your host, Jedi Master Grayson, and we have a great
I'm sorry, I threw you off by doing the Mark After Dark. Did I get you?
No. I just lost my place. We have a great show for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about Invincible Fight Girl. We're going to be talking about the finale of The Penguin. We're talking about the season 2 premiere of Arcane, and as always, we talking shit. But let's introduce our the third. No, he's not the third Bantha. He's like what, the sixth Bantha at this point.
Who knows anymore? There's so many Banthas.
So there's a third. That's Noah.
Yeah,
we never established a fourth.
Yeah, we never established who the fourth one.
It's Jeff then. We already gave.
Did Fifth just skip over himself?
I think so.
Yeah,
to be honest with you,
there was a whole discussion about it. It's like no one knows who the fourth Bantha is.
Yeah, exactly. It's just been waiting to be claimed, like the sword and the stone.
I'll be honest. I assumed it was producer P.
No.
Yeah, she doesn't do enough work to claim that title.
Not at all. Fuck out of here, Penny.
But Jeff, how you doing today?
I'm good. I had the day off, which after last week, I needed a 3-day weekend. So
I hear you, man. You know what? What am I doing? Shout out to the 3-day weekend. Shout out to everybody getting fucked up. Shout out to Jeff. You know what I'm saying? Shit. We don't do it enough, man. We don't celebrate everybody enough.
Yeah, I think that's the 3-day weekend. Everybody else who got to actually celebrate Veterans Day.
I was working.
Could actually have that day up. Before we get started, I do want to remind you guys to tune into the Bantha Bunch live every Thursday night with your favorite cousin's favorite cousin, Bill. Bill, what you guys talking about this Thursday?
Well, I don't know, man. I think we're going to talk a little bit about the Manhattan Project thing. Oh, no. Manhattan Abduction.
Oh, yeah.
It's on Netflix. And I know what I'm talking about the next week after that. Was it Thanksgiving? Or the week after Thanksgiving? The week of Thanksgiving. We will be talking about the John Benet Ramsey documentary that's coming out on the 25th on November.
So that's 3 episodes from now. We got this Thursday, an unnamed Thursday, John Benet.
Bing bong. That's right. Very good.
You know how to do week math.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. What do you mean?
There's 4 calculators right here.
He's like, first I add one number, then I put another number next to that one in another calculator.
It's like my math is weak, but I can still do weak math. But also want to remind you guys to peruse through our merchandise tab, where you can on our YouTube channel, you can see all of our merchandise where you can buy hats, hoodies, shirts, mugs, and all kinds of cool stuff with our stupid name on it. Check that out.
And I just realized on NerdsAtNite, if you go to the shopping area on there, you'll see all of Terry's T-Pin stuff. So go over there and check that out as well until we get a NerdsAtNite store going for you guys, which that should be happening sooner than it is later. Sooner than it is later, guys.
And I also want to just let you guys know our show Does It Hold Up, where we revisit classic genre films to see if they're as good or as bad as we remember, is switching to Wednesdays. So we will be dropping a new episode this Wednesday. It was supposed to come out around Halloween. It was the Hellboy episode, but it got kind of caught up in copyright hell. But the 2019 episode of Does It Hold Up, 2019 Hellboy episode of Does It Hold Up will be dropping this Wednesday. And then the following episode we'll be talking about, and we talked about it with our buddy Jeff here, Mikey Beef Puncher.
Sorry.
And also
that's a great name.
It's a great name. Excited to talk about that episode actually. And then our next episode doesn't hold up. We'll be talking about the 1996 action film Twister with the homie Mariana from the Morbid Zoo YouTube channel.
What up?
So definitely check out the next 2 episodes. It doesn't hold up. If you don't check out any other episode, doesn't hold up. Check out the next 2. They're a whole lot of fun.
Or the last 2.
Or the last 2. Yeah.
Or the last 3, actually.
The last 2 or the next 2.
Surf Ninjas is dope too.
Yeah, Surf Ninjas is fun.
I swallow it every Tuesday.
Just watch all of the episodes. It doesn't hold up.
Yeah, no. Let's go to these comments real quick.
Lil Frothy says, I've been bombing the LA metro system with T-pin stickers. Keep them coming.
There we go. Shout out to vandalisms. shout out to vandalism.
Everybody likes vandalism.
We love vandalisms. For causes of good or bad.
For good or ill. I guess I do also want to mention before we get into our first topic of the night, just say we appreciate all of our new subscribers that we've gotten and the new members. I know it's been a minute since I put out some members only content, but there will be some members exclusive content coming out soon and some content for all the rest of you guys. I'm going to be putting out a short review of The Substance for members only. And I'm going to be putting out another X-Men video where I'm casting all of the X-Men that I want to see in the new X-Men MCU movie. So
we're gonna have that come out for y'all members early. Y'all gonna get stuff early. So don't forget everything he said that's coming out for everybody, come out for you first.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you guys will get the content a little bit early. For that X-Men video, and The Substances will be that Substance review will just be for the members only.
The Substance sounds like a really dope unknown 80s rock band.
It does.
Or like a really gross material you find at a crime scene.
Bam.
Also true. Yeah, it's like the band was inspired by an episode of Law and Order. And they was like, you know what? We should call our band The Substance.
Or it's just a song that didn't get made by Disturbed. It just never came out.
Yeah, it was one of the B-sides.
The Substance was on. Yeah. You suckers get up. You're coming down with the Substance.
Yeah, guys, keep your ear to the ground for all that awesome content that's going to be coming out. But let's move into our first topic of the night.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's right. You already know what it is.
I didn't. I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, that's right, guys. When you hear that sound, you know it could be only several different things that's about to happen. But the thing that's about to happen right now is Jeff's Comic Book Corner. Jeff, what are we talking about tonight?
Wow. I was waiting. I was going to see if you're going to try and go up and over and all that jazz like you try. We are talking about Boom Studios' Dark Blood. So I decided I wanted to get back to what we were doing before. Want to get into one that's spooky season over. I figured we'll obviously move on from those. And I wanted to go back to another one with a good African American lead. And I think this is a really interesting one. Again, out of Boom Studios, so it's not just another character that we've all heard of and we kind of got a little bored with, and it's pretty interesting. So like I said, this one's called Dark Blood. Now it starts off in Alabama in 1955, and we just see it, Alabama 1955. From there, we move pretty quickly into just our main character, who we call Double A. And he's walking out of this diner, and he's just normal guy walking down the street. He's carrying a bag with him, just going along. And now, like I said, this is 1950s Alabama. So pretty quickly, he notices someone's following him. And he's trying to keep an eye on it while also trying to mind his own business. He's trying to, calm himself, like, don't panic, just breathe, just like, it's okay. and he ducks around a corner and down into an alley. And all of a sudden, he's just confronted by this guy who literally says, where do you think you're going, boy? And now this guy's our main guy, Double A, he's trying to calm himself down a little bit, and he gets a flashback. And now we see him, and it says 10 years before the variants. And we see his eyes again. And now his eyes have these goggles on them. And when we zoom out, we see that he's actually an airplane pilot. And he's clearly in some trouble. They're trying to get his attention. They're trying to get in touch with him, like the tower or whoever, I don't know. And he's trying to tell him, like, no, I can't make it back. I know I'm in enemy airspace, but like my plane's been hit. I'm getting ready to go down. And we see his plane just billowing smoke while he's trying to figure out what to do. And they're just calling for him. Then after that, we pretty quickly jump back to the present, or the present of the storyline, which is like I said, the 1950s Alabama. And this white guy's just being, well, a white guy in 1950s. He's like, oh, I'm talking to you, boy. You got to call me sir. Who do you think you are? Do you and he's like, and the guys, and Double A is being pretty normal. He's just like, my name's Avery, Avery Aldridge. And he's like, I heard you were called another name. He's like, yeah, it was just, why'd they call you Double A? And he's like, well, it's just because it was my time in the Army. And then this guy just goes, well, aren't you fancy? And then he says, you think you're better than me? And it's like, what the fuck's going on? And pretty quickly, it turns out this guy's just a good old-fashioned racist. He evidently thinks that Double A slighted him at some point, and so his response is to just pull a gun on him. And he's pointing this gun at him, and he's threatening Double A. He's threatening him, and he's threatening Avery, and Avery's just like, you don't want to do that. And the guy's like, oh yeah, you're scared, right? And he's like, I am, but I'm not scared for me. And I'm scared for you. And this white guy obviously is like, oh, what? I'm a big tough white guy. Screw you, boy. Da 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 da. And then we start seeing some veins bulging in Avery's neck. And all of a sudden, Avery's really starting to get angry, and he drops his, I think I put those out of order. He drops his bag, and no, I'm sorry, before that one. Anyway, so he drops his bag, and things start floating around him. Right there. And this guy starts shooting at him, freaking out. He's like, what's going on? Jeez, Mary. And he shoots at him, and the bullet just stops in front of Avery while all these things are lifting and floating into the air. Then Avery, the crazy part is Avery doesn't even attack him with these. Avery is just lifting these things up with his mind, I guess. And the guy freaks out, and he's like, you're a monster. You're a fucking monster. And he starts running off. And Avery's just like, no, please. It's okay. Don't freak out. And he's like, wait. And he starts chasing after the guy. And the guy runs out of the alley, and he runs out in the street. Then he gets hit by a fucking car. And good. I mean, he's a racist guy who got mad that a black guy was talking back to him and started shooting at him. So I'm okay with him getting hit by a car. Anyway, so then Avery's still a good guy, though. He runs out. He's checking on the guy. He's like, hey, are you okay? He's looking at him. And the guy that was driving the car gets out, and he's like, that's your fault. How dare you? And he's like, come here, get over here. I'm going to call the police. And Avery's like, fuck this, and starts running. And Avery just starts running into the woods, and they don't really explain to us what's happening, but Avery's clearly going through something because he ends up fainting. And then we get a flashback back to Avery in the war. And now we see Avery, and he's in a parachute, and he's going down. And the thing is, he's unconscious. He actually wakes up while parachuting down, and he looks up, and he sees that not only is he parachuting down, his parachute's on fucking fire. So now he's going down and he's clearly going to die. And he's like, no, not like this. And then the German plane starts coming back around and shooting at him again while he's falling through the sky on a parachute that is on fire. Then we start seeing some lightning and stuff going. And then Avery, in just like a really serene moment, just starts saying the Our Father. And right when this German plane's about to catch up to him, an American plane comes by, shoots that guy down, saves the day. And so Avery's just, thank God. And I guess he forgot that his parachute was on fire because all the lines snap and he just starts fucking falling and screaming and he's falling. He's no. And then he just wakes up. And now we just cut to Avery in a bed. And now this time it says 6 months before the variants. So 6 months before what we were seeing before with Avery. And he's got this weird, crazy thing going on in his back. And someone calls for him like, hey, are you coming? He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. And that's it. And that's the end of issue 1.
Oh, snap. And we left with is that like a cliffhanger?
Yep, it very much is. We don't even know what his powers are. We don't know what the scar is. Remember, we also don't know what the variance is, which they kept referencing in this. It's a 6-part series. I figured I'd do issues 1 and 2. And just give us a little. See if you like it, then you can go and you can find the rest,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. Like I like it when comic books can like delve into just like old-timey racism. It's like, what if black people had powers back then? Like stuff like
right.
And Bitterroot is just like cool to see.
Yeah.
Just these fantastical black characters in like different historical time periods. So yeah, I'm intrigued.
Right. I liked one of the things that I liked about this one is that even though Avery's got these powers and dude literally can't hit him with a fucking bullet, the big thing he's worried about is the guy running off and telling anyone, because he's like, he doesn't want to kill the guy, but at the same time, now he's a black man with powers in the 50s. That might be an even more dangerous position for him to be in.
Well, as the representative of the nigga delegate, I will say that
be the black delegation.
I will say that Avery is at fault here for one reason and one reason only, because you should not go chasing after no white man. ever, unless it's on a football field. That is the only time he's chasing a white man. That's what he get. What year was it again?
1955 Alabama.
Yeah. No.
It's double whammy.
I don't care if it's Doc from Back to the Future. I don't care if it's you better not be chasing no white man into the street.
Who the hell's Clara?
So that's why he ended up running. Shit. What you expect white people to do in 1955? You running up on a white dead man?
Yeah, you're gonna get blamed for it.
Seriously though, it was
He
very
wasn't
hilarious.
dead when he started running after him.
Like, yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah, after he got hit, he should have definitely started running in the other direction.
So we're like,
well, I do love the driver of the car was like, I love the driver of the car goes, you wait there, I'm calling the police. It's like, it's the 50s. How long is it going to take you to find a phone? Go call the police. That's better for me.
I will wait right here.
I'll be right here when you get back.
In spirit.
But guys, check out Dark Blood.
Check it out.
Go from Boom Comics, or Boom Studios Comics, or Boom Comic Studios. Just Boom Studios.
Boom Studios.
Boom Studios.
I got a couple of Boom Studios publications on my bookshelf.
They make some good stuff.
Yeah, they can make some pretty rad shit. But guys, check that out.
They really push the envelope with theirs too. They're not afraid to like piss people off, which is one thing I love about them.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, guys, definitely check that out. We don't get any money from that. But
shout out to
we like
everybody.
when people check out good shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Alex's favorite series, his 5-page a day, is from Boom Studios.
Yeah.
I just thought about the fact that we don't make any money off of Jeff's comic book corner.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, we do, but we don't.
Yeah.
Like, we need them.
Boom Studios. If you want
Boom Studios, what's up?
If you want to come over,
you know what? I'm gonna write that down.
You know what? If say you guys just want us to work with like one of your authors, I mean, we can start low key like that. I guess like whoever writes Berserker.
Berserk.
Keanu Reeves, I guess. Yeah, we could talk to that guy. Cool.
Only thing is, you're just gonna have to, send us the comics, of course, so we can show it.
Bro, if they hook me up to talk with Keanu Reeves, I'll pay for the fucking comics.
I'm familiar with Berserker. But every time I hear Berserker, I think of that scene from Clerks where the guy like, would you like to making fuck Berserker? And the girl's like, did you just say making fuck? I think about that every time I think about hear the name of that comic. But I'm just a special stuff like that way. Moving right along.
I'm glad you don't watch like military news.
Moving right along to our first topic of the night, we're gonna put on our wrestling shoes.
Oh yeah, Daddy. Is that what you mean,
Daddy? Because it is time.
Step into the ring with Invincible Fight Girl.
There's never been no other more greater than the greatest fighter in all of the world, Invincible Fight Girl. That's right, Daddy.
Indeed, indubitably. This is episode 3 of Invincible Fight Girl season 1. I'm personally enjoying myself. Like I said last week, this is a very anime show. So if you're not a fan of anime, then you're probably not gonna dig this. No. But it is
if you're not a fan, I will say, if you're not a fan of anime style, like the artwork, you might still enjoy this. It's anime style in the story, not necessarily in the art. The art is American.
Right. Yeah, I would say, like the art is more anime inspired, but yeah, just like the vibe of it is very much just like the pacing, the dialogue. And there are many faces to anime. It's more like it's more Kill la Kill than Castlevania. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like if you met a black dude and he sounded like he was from China.
There's so many anime. And you
I couldn't think of any.
Right? That's right, right?
Gundam, Evangelion, Demon Slayer, Naruto.
Yeah, I don't know.
Awesome.
It's more what did I say? Kill la Kill than like Cowboy Bebop. Which is, if we're talking about like two animes that I really love, but have drastically different styles. Everybody just forget that I said the Castlevania. Those Berserk outtakes were classics. I'm not sure what he's talking about actually, but
no idea.
But
if it's a comic, I didn't read it.
Yeah, me neither. And if it's outtakes of Clerks, I missed those. But let's talk about the opening of this episode. Poblana stops Andy from entering her home, but she believes that stopping her was a test, which Poblana denies, and then ties her up. As Poblana drives down into town to get supplies to fix her roof, Andy meets Craig again, who was hiding out in the nearby barn. He claims, Craig, you ain't got to lie, Craig. Yet he lies a lot. He claims he is a nephew of Poblana and later asserts his real passion is training wrestlers, conning her again into dragging items to sell at a market in the tenderizing district of the city. Now,
I thought you said trading wrestlers.
Oh, he's trading.
I was like, that's like all kind of fucking different kind of connotation.
Pretty illegal right there, yeah.
Well, who
It's frowned
knows in
upon.
this world?
Yeah.
In this world.
And that's one of the things I wanted to ask you guys about. Well, first I want to mention, so I think it's so funny that
About
she's still
creating wrestlers.
First I did want to mention that it's funny that she's still missing a shoe. I just thought that was like a funny little thing,
Right.
a through line from the last episode.
Agreed.
But what did you guys think of the world building in this world? Because like this is a very wacky world of wrestling, and now we're getting introduced to the tenderizing district where they have their own weird rules. Mikey, what did you think?
Well, also remembering not the biggest fan of the show. I did enjoy this episode a lot more than the first two. I will say that. This one, first off, it felt like it just kind of flowed better than the last two, in my opinion. And also, it leaned more into the comedy for me, which I was able to enjoy a lot more. I do just love, like, I mean, who watched Rocky how many times to be like that right there? That's the pinnacle of human training. Because that's literally it's the episode of Rocky, you know. But hey, it was fun, and I ended up enjoying it and being very pleasantly surprised. I still don't think this show is for me, but this episode is doing a better job.
It's not for me.
What about you, Billy? Are you enjoying like the world building of the tenderizing district? Did you like this edition?
Well, like I said last week, I'm like closer to Jeff than I am to you, but I'm in the middle because I'm just judging this episode to episode. I'm not gonna get caught up like I did with what was it that we were watching? I got caught up with how good or bad it was. I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
Halo season 1?
Doesn't matter. We're not covering it right now, so it's not getting any love. But you know, I was judging it based on what I was judging it at the whole thing instead of episode to episode. So I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm going to make sure I do my due diligence. And so that being said, this episode, like Jeff, I also feel like this episode was a lot better. But I think it's because we didn't have a lot of exposition. And what exposition we did have was more so like introducing our character to what's going on more than it was introducing us to how this world works.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that had a lot better, that caused a lot better pacing, but it caused a lot of issues for me. Like, what's up with this dude? What's his name? Craig?
Craig, yeah.
Craig.
The con artist.
Yeah,
guy?
Craig. Yeah, like, come on, man. He's really had no actual purpose as of yet. Like, she could have got, like, as far as a vehicle to do what he did, like, she could have met these people on her own.
Yeah.
Like, he hadn't really contributed to any of that. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I really got to say about the whole show. I mean, like, but the music was good. It was funnier. Roll Tide.
Yeah, I did like, yeah, to your point about Craig, like he is just mainly set up as a foil for Andy, just like this irritating person who's just more of an annoyance than anything. But in a weird serendipitous way, he does introduce her to our newest character, who seems like he's gonna be like a sidekick of hers throughout the season, or at least a good sidekick. It seems like Craig might be like a bad sidekick as well. Harvey Dent says, "Hi, can you hear me?"
Harvey.
I can hear you, Harvey. We believe in Harvey.
No.
But yeah.
What up, Harvey? What up, Harvey?
What up, Harvey?
We hear you. You get a round of applause.
But yeah, like after that, we do he points out a nearby wrestler and claims that the wrestler that's the wrestler that he knows. She comes across Mikey, a huge 8-year-old kid with muscles, annoying Andy that he scammed her again. I just want to play this clip real quick of this meeting
it's
between
clip roulette.
Andy.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, right. You never know what you're gonna get.
Great wrestler? Who is this dad of which you speak? Well, imagine me, but older, not 8. Wait, 8? What do you mean 8? You're 8 years old? Yes, ma'am.
I thought that was just like a funny turn where a humongous 8-year-old.
Yeah, he was like Charlie Brown on steroids. Did anybody else get Charlie Brown vibes from this kid? The way he talks and delivers his dialogue.
Yeah, he reminded me like Linus or something from. He seems like a Peanuts character for sure.
I think he is voiced by an actual child, so that would make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
But I overall thought it was he's definitely voiced by a child. I overall thought there was something really stupid about Mikey. He doesn't have a nose. How the fuck are his glasses staying up? Come on. That's poor writing right there.
Come on, get it together. Get it together.
I did love how like his whole family don't have noses.
Why you boring me? I'm right.
I did love how his whole family had noses, didn't have noses, kind of like Krillin. Like there's no one really explains why Krillin doesn't have a nose, but we don't really.
He even says he doesn't have a nose one time, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think in one of the episodes of DBZ he does actually say.
Yeah, there was something about like a terrible smell, and he's like, "I'm fine. I don't have a nose."
Yeah,
it's upsetting to me that he's the strongest human.
Yeah, he's like the strongest human.
Oh, I kind of like it.
Yeah, because everybody else got a little bit of saying. Yeah, but I after that we do get to meet Mikey's father, which is interesting because as Clancy Brown dies in one show that we're talking about, he arises in another as the voice of Mikey's father. He takes him away so he can train him.
I thought it was him.
Yeah,
who?
Clancy
like,
Brown,
name, right?
Sal
That's
Maroni.
Salvatore.
Yeah, he was the dad. He was Mikey's dad in this episode. Which I thought was a cool.
The one who had a heart attack, and that means that Penguin killed him. I guess. I don't know.
Right. I don't know why he's not listed right here in the cast.
He's not.
Very strange.
That's weird.
Very fucking strange.
But you know what? I didn't even look it up. I just know that that's Clancy. I was like, you can't tell me that's not Clancy Brown.
I just didn't hear you say anything. I was looking for people. And I was looking at the cast as you said it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I didn't hear you say what you said. So yeah. And then that blew my mind again that you said it. And then I realized, you know what? His name is not in the cast, which I'm sure Jeff already knew. I've contributed nothing.
Harvey did. I do like your question in the comment. We are going to get to that question a little bit later. But I do want to ask, just like as we wrap up this episode, we get Mikey's father is about to take him away so they can train. Even though Mikey only wants to be a wrestling journalist, he doesn't really want to fight. A wise man once said, "Just because you're hung like a moose doesn't mean you got to do porn." He's got a passion.
Fantastic use.
He's got a passion for writing. It turns out, even then, he obviously has a lot of knowledge because he does school Andy a little bit on the wrestling. What did you guys think about this? And just like this is obvious parallel between the two because she's also doing something her family.
I just thought for an 8-year-old, he's really dumb. He's 8 years old. He's got a huge body. He wants to be a journalist, right? He don't understand. He could probably just get away with being like a trainer and then also be a journalist at the same time. Or just be a journalist and hide it from your parents like old girl did like Andy did for a long time. She was like 8 when she started, and then now, boom, learn to lie. He's the dumbest 8-year-old.
Bro, he's just learning his times tables. What do you expect?
I'm just saying,
8.
Just saying, Andy, she was already on this type of time. She built a whole ring for herself in the woods.
She's clearly been working on that for years.
That's crazy.
That's a dedication.
She was building arcane type stuff in the woods.
Yeah, it looks like Jinx's arcade. Like that was crazy. But yeah, like what did you think of
that's a teaser.
That's what we call it. It's a teaser. Mikey, what did you think of like just their friendship that's sort of building between the two? Because Andy seems to want to go to bat for him pretty quickly.
I mean, I will say it seems like typical anime story building, right, where just the random people you run into end up being your allies and your basically like your teammates. So it fit the narrative and everything. Excuse me. And it was fun and it was unique how we have this big giant character who doesn't want to actually fix everything. And I don't know. I think they used him well. I think they did the right thing with the comedy out of him, throwing out not only is he 8, but like, shrouding his face in shadow the entire time, making us think he's this big monster thing. And then he's just a little 8-year-old. That was really well done and really well written.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Him pulling the meat off the truck was just like an unnecessarily just disastrous.
He destroyed the truck.
He destroyed the truck.
Destroyed the entire truck.
I was
truck
like,
was in the ground.
Jesus.
It's like, God
Who's this
damn,
dude.
It's like, maybe don't ask him to get the meat next time.
I knew for some reason, because of the nature of the show, I was like, this is going to be ridiculous. I just didn't expect that to be the part that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right.
And like,
you
yeah,
expect
so
him to be like
like
the lion with a thorn in his paw or something, not an 8-year-old. Not like, hey, he just figuring out how to tie his shoes.
Yeah, he just stopped peeing on himself in his sleep 2 years ago.
What do you mean by 30 years?
It's crazy how you stop peeing in your bed and then you start peeing in your bed and then you stop again. Well, you start back in your early 20s because you drink so much, and then you start back when you get old.
It's like, a circle of piss.
Circle of piss.
But yeah, at the end of this episode, she challenges Mikey's dad. She challenges Mikey's family to a wrestling match for, I guess, Mikey's independence. And then they bring out M. Brandon,
which is wild.
Which I thought was really fun.
That was great.
All the names. Do you remember the names of the brothers?
Remember the names of all the brothers. But yeah, all of them have M names, including Mikey and M. Brandon.
Mark, something else.
Yeah, I can't remember the
Martin, Mark, Miles.
Martin, Mark, Miles, and
M. Brandon.
And Mike and M. Brandon.
I love that. It was like he didn't want to call it.
But he's like the oldest one. He's clearly the oldest brother. He didn't run out of M names.
Well,
he's the oldest brother named M. Brandon.
But they're making it seem like he's younger because he ran out of the names or something like that. Because Mikey's also bigger than all of them. So M. Brandon might just be like, I don't know, 6 months older than Mikey. Who the fuck knows now?
Books Gers and Purrs said in the chat, walked right into Bill saying circle of piss.
The circle.
Don't worry, it's going to be out on his Christmas album.
That's right. Circle of Piss coming to a theater near you, a movie theater, not even like a play theater.
Yeah, that's something that should not be experienced in person.
No.
Yeah, you don't need that splash zone at the theater.
Yeah. No, I'm not promising the what's his name? The Gallagher.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
or R. Kelly experience. I guess that's a better.
That's also
shout out to Gallagher. I don't want to put no dirt on Gallagher's name out there.
He's like, hey, wait a goddamn minute. I wasn't doing all that.
Shout out to Gers and Purrs. How's it going? And shout out to everybody else who's watching that isn't commenting too. What up? Yeah,
shout out to everybody in the chats. If you're just watching, that's cool. If you want to interact, that's also cool.
You could interact if you want to be real cool.
Yeah, sounds like I'm laying the ground rules for an orgy. I'm gonna stop this description right now. At the end of this episode, Andy challenges M. Brandon, and that's pretty much the end. So I feel like the next episode is going to be pretty action packed, kind of like the Perm Gang.
Oh, I have a very different theory about that. if we're gonna go with like anime TV style return from episodes, I'm gonna go with she taps this dude and he gives up crying, or he fucking something stupid is gonna fucking happen. Like he's gonna stumble over and hit his head and start crying because he's like, you know, he's the big muscular dude, so he's gonna fall. He's gonna be like,
right.
and then he's gonna do this. He'll be, I can't believe that she hit me so hard. I can't believe this. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening because that does happen a lot. Right? Especially, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I can see like the little action lines appearing above your head,
and then
but yeah, I could see them going that route because like it seems like that wouldn't be out of tone for this kind of show because they do lean into the comedy and the silliness. But I've the little bit I've seen of the trailer, it seems like they're going to be having some pretty dope looking fight scenes. So I'm excited to see how fucking
you watched the trailer, you son of a bitch.
Breaking your oath. Oh my god. I'll tell you what, if they put out a trailer, but then the actual episode pops up and it's like fight, and then quick cut, and you see her like leg barring him and him, and like cut, and then like him tapping, and then cut, and then her being like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you that bad. That would be the funniest fucking thing they could do.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I feel like we're getting somewhere between halfway where you just said and what I just said. It's going down next episode, but I don't think it's going to be action packed.
Yeah, well, you know,
for whatever reason, I don't know.
We shall see. I think there's 10 episodes?
It'd be dope to see that. So far, the coolest thing is the damn ring popping down on the ground.
That was fucking awesome. Yeah, I forgot.
Yes, 10 episodes.
Okay,
so I'm down for that to happen. That's all I got.
Well, that's not going to happen in the next episode because they have a ring.
Oh, okay. So it won't be a sanctioned ring.
Yeah, it won't be a sanctioned fight. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
crazy. Your girl already got one sanctioned fight under her belt. That's crazy. Yeah,
she won.
Yeah.
She won her first.
I don't have anything else to say about this show that's entertaining. So yeah, we're good.
All right, we're gonna move right along to our next topic of the night, guys. If you have been watching Invincible Fight Girl, or if you're intrigued, let us know what you think in the comments. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. We are talking about, as he looks for the button, that's right. We are talking about season 2 of Arcane. And now I put out a video where I reviewed the first season. You guys know I love it if you see the video.
Oh, you want to play it? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, let's go, guys. You want to spend 20 minutes just hear me talk about season 1?
I'll probably do that on Thursday.
It's just y'all just listen to this.
It's the Bantha show. Listen to this.
But Bill, what did you like before we get into this new season? Were you a fan of season 1?
I'm mad. You're giving away the sauce. Oh, I'm gonna go take a shit. Yes, I was gonna take a shit. I wasn't gonna tell them I was gonna take a shit. Now they know I was gonna take a shit.
I don't think I just thought it was a joke.
Well, anyway,
you're telling on yourself now.
Too many curtains peeked around over here. What was the question?
What was did you like season 1 of Arcane? Were you a fan?
Oh, yeah. No, look, check it out. Arcane is dope. It's a good little show. I forgot that I did not like the needle drops in the first season.
Yeah.
And I was reminded though in season 2, first 3 episodes, right off the bat, boom, you don't like this shit right here. And they would let me know. So, that was cool. But other than that, I really don't have a problem with this show, That's just season 1, right? That's all you want to know?
Yeah,
so fuck that. 1. Yeah, I got it pulls you in, especially since I didn't have any breaks. I just demon timed it,
Right.
I've just binged it, and I felt like that's a great way to watch it too. But I was sucked in. I'm going to the next episode. I gotta see what happened next episode. I was gonna go to sleep 3 hours ago. Now I gotta see this next episode. So so it was good. So really excited to see this episode. These episodes, and this was a really good start as well. So how'd you feel about season 1? Well, fuck season 1. We already know how you feel because it's in a video and they can go watch it. How did you feel about these first 3 episodes that we saw here?
I was still very much impressed by the show. The animation continues to be just incredibly impressive, especially compared to other animated CG type shows that we get like this. Like, your Star Wars has many shows where they kind of replicate this kind of style. Names? I didn't name a show. I just said Star Wars shows sometimes try to do this, and maybe they don't do it as well. The story continues to be compelling. And just like the world building becomes so vast where I'm just like, so now I'm interested to see what happens outside of Piltover, even though that this is where the show is. We're getting little peeks of what's going on outside of these city walls. But I also agree that the needle drops are kind of annoying. Sometimes they can, sometimes I'll be into the needle drop, like the music from the needle drop, but then you hear some old dude start singing. It's like, nah, I don't want that. I just want the music. The music is doing the job. I don't need the lyrics. Or you'll hear somebody start rapping and the raps aren't that good. It's like, just let the music be. I don't need the vocalization. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I got to be agreeing.
But what about you, Jeff? What did you?
Man, he's got this look on his face. I'm trying to see what's going to happen here. How did you feel about this one, Jeff? How did you feel about season 1, and how are you feeling about season 2?
Didn't watch it.
Oh!
No. I actually have not seen any of season 1, so a lot of season 2 was a little confusing. There's I don't know if anyone listening has watched The League, but there's an episode 1 in season 5. This one side character, Rafi's sitting there, and Ruxin goes like, "Oh man, JJ Watt," and Rafi goes, "Oh man, I don't know who that is," and that was me the entire 3 episodes. Just cool. This is awesome. Who the fuck is that? So yeah. Interesting way to watch this show. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like that's not a terrible way to watch the show. Plus, you got the Netflix recap. You get that. Yeah.
Well, I skipped that.
Well, that might be something that you might want to go back and do.
Well, we'll see how this just piecemeal and it keeps going. But I mean, these 3 episodes were cool, confusing as fuck, but cool.
Yeah, like I even got a little confused in this first few episodes of this new season. Even knowing all of the backstories for all the characters, there are a lot of plate spinning in this universe. Like, there's a lot to pay attention to. So
yeah,
it's easy to get.
I do appreciate though that they chose to use animation to tell a lot of the story without doing a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job of that, of combining the 3D and the 2D animation at the same time.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can do that. 1, not a lot of people do that. 2, a lot of people who try to combine them don't do it well. I think they did a very good combination of both in this. I was very much impressed by that.
Same, and they didn't do as much of that in season 1 as they did.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll keep throwing them up. You keep knocking them down.
Guys, this is Halo all over again. I'm so sorry.
No, actually,
it says Athelia said in the comments, Jeff is the dude on the group project that didn't read the syllabus. Damn, Toby Blanco.
Well, I'm sorry. Everyone knows the first week of classes is a blow off. No one gave me a fucking syllabus.
No, the thing is way better because he actually is watching it. Like, it's not just like, oh, I had seen it first season.
I'm just not gonna
I'm
watch
not
it.
gonna watch it. You know, so this is
I will say, based on Othelius's comment, it might be prudent to point out that my bachelor's degree is in university studies, so no one thought I was reading syllabuses. I have a college degree in going to school. Okay.
Well played. Well played.
I'm just in a ton of debt. It's totally worth it.
I have so many jokes that just lead us in so many.
Well, speaking of a ton of debt,
because it's a spoken.
Let's talk about a ton of dead people at the beginning of this season. Jace, Mel, and Counselor Shula survived Jinx's rocket attack at the council, but counselors Haskell, Bulbach, and Cassandra, Caitlyn's mother, are killed. Victor is mortally wounded. Jace reneges on his promise to destroy the Hex Core and instead uses it to save him. So we get to see the fallout of Jinx's, like, I guess you would call it a terrorist attack. She shoots a missile at the council building at the end of the season 1. And I was kind of expecting them to just wash over it and be like, well, everybody still lived. But then I remembered this is the show that killed 3 children in like the episode 3.
How you
when
like
I thought
them
that they were going to
apples?
be like the main characters. So this show doesn't pull any punches. What did you guys think of just like the fallout of the big explosion and just like how the council was trying to get things back in order? Mikey, I'll let you go first.
Well, first off, I like that Victor, you said, was the guy that was like mortally wounded there. I like that he basically got thrown into like a genital wart carbonite situation. That was interesting. Really cool to wake up and just be like, okay, feels like I'm in a supernatural STD wall. That's fun. But to answer your question,
I've tasted it before.
I think it was a realistic interpretation of the fallout. I mean, yeah, this is. So I don't obviously know what happened in season 1, but I'm assuming it's like this tier system with the underground and the people who get to live happy lives and see the air. And it's like, yeah, well, what the fuck do you think happens when you live in such a segment in society that long? You're going to push people. Someone's going to snap. This is the inevitable outcome of such a thing. And then the people who had the power, yeah, this is their response to it. All of it makes sense. You need to try and first off, calm and reassure your people. Maybe have better security. Just going to throw that one out there. The fact that the guy walked right onto the stage, I don't care that he's wearing a uniform. There should have been other people in uniform being like, sorry, nah.
Right.
I don't care that you look like Dave. You can't just walk up there. She's talking.
Right. Grab Dave. He's drunk. That should have at least been like something.
Right? But yeah, no, it makes sense that their response is to try and reassure the public, and then for them to also want revenge immediately. I mean, when the people who have the power get attacked, look at history. Their response, more attacks. Just look at U.S. history alone. 9/11, we had a pretty violent response to that. Not saying anything about if it was right, wrong, this or that or the other. I'm just saying, look at the U.S.'s response. I was impressed with how realistic they showed the motivations and then follow through.
We have the documents to prove all the reasons we went to Iraq and Iran.
There's clearly like a power struggle between Zahn and Piltover, and yeah, like you guys are, like you mentioned, you can see how the powerful are reacting to this uprising, and it's all unfortunately very realistic, even though this is a world that's completely fictional. Athelia said in the chat, Kate is a fascist, Vi is a sellout, Piltover is evil, Echo is the only real hero, and Jinx did nothing wrong. I agree with almost everything.
Blow a lot of people up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with almost everything you said there, Athelia. She did kill people.
Hopperdinger, nigga. Hopperdinger. You forgot about Hopperdinger.
Oh yeah, Heimerdinger. Yeah, he's
Heimerdinger.
Nice. He's
Heimerdinger
cute.
told everybody, shut the fuck up. First episode, he was like, no.
Need to put
Bitch,
that.
I said no. Then here they come with it. Oh, we can do this. We can save lives. We can help the world. So, Jeff, Hyperdumber, the little
fuzzy man.
the little fuzzy man.
Oh, I liked the that was in episode 3. Running
Yes.
up the through the vents and shit. I fucking love that guy.
That guy
He's my
is
favorite character so far.
He is. He's the boss, man. Dude was like, when Echo was like, don't you technically own this place? Like, yes, nigga, he fucking owns this place.
It's like, never mind about
Why
that.
are we sneaking in? He's like, nigga, we don't want nobody to see us. That's why we're sneaking in. So that was a really funny moment for sure.
Yeah,
But
like that
he's the only one really keeping it whole. Who he told everybody from the beginnings. He been alive so long he don't remember how long he been alive. So he done seen all kind of shit. You know, he saw magic tear up shit several different times in his generations of living on the planet. So I just wanted
He
to
reminded me of God, what's the guy's name? Of Dustin Hoffman's. Was he a lemur in Kung Fu Panda? He reminded me of that guy. I love that guy too.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Never seen Kung Fu Panda, but I think I know what character you're talking about. Guys, let me know.
All right, we're gonna pause the podcast until Alex finishes Kung Fu Panda.
Sorry, I didn't know what button to hit. He said he didn't see Kung Fu Panda. I didn't know what button to hit.
Only thing I know about Kung Fu Panda is skadoosh. Athelia said
what that
Correct.
means.
Echo, hey, don't you work here, Heimer? I was actually fired last Friday. They called me stealing boxes.
He did.
By the way, that also reminded me. So I was just gonna say that scene where they're having like the big outdoor meeting that then gets busted up by the terrorists. It immediately made me think of, do you guys know what they did with pickpockets in England, like way back in the day?
No.
They hung him?
They had public hangings.
Yeah.
At which point, everyone in the crowd got robbed by pickpockets.
That's great.
Don't make an easy target.
So, hey man, your death will not go in vain, Tony.
While all these people are watching you die, I'm gonna rob the shit out.
Hey, we just had a terrorist attack. What should we do? Well, have we thought about getting everyone together in the outside? That seems like a good plan.
Oh yeah, bad decisions all around.
Oh man, I can't wait to do the more you know drops for this show. We're gonna do some. We're gonna make some of our own the more you knows.
So yeah,
might need a haiku. Sorry, go ahead.
No, we do have the memorial that is broken up by. Oh, Jeff is so happy right now. Yeah, we have the memorial that is being broken up. Before the memorial, we do get a scene between where Caitlyn offers Vi basically
a job.
Yeah, she's like, "Do you want to be a
Calvin,
blue
do you want a job?
Do you want to be a blue belly? Do you want to fight against these people, but wearing a badge?" And she's down for the fight, but she's not down to wear the uniform of the people that killed her parents. She's like, nah, I'm good on that. Athelia said it's because
she's down to bang her girlfriend. That's it.
Hey, love makes you do crazy things. Athelia says it's because Ambisa set that up. It was on purpose to get support for her takeover.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I'll give you that. Ambisa's the chick in the red armor.
Yeah, Mel's mom. Yeah.
Gotcha.
the other black
I'm
person.
learning. the other black person.
I'm learning. No, I'm sorry. I had to do it. There's no way it was.
It definitely seems like that was an orchestrated attack because, like, what would be the goal other than just antagonize?
Her and the blonde white dude that I don't remember from season 2 are working together.
Oh yeah.
And yes, I do have to say, blonde and white dude people. This is a crazy TV show. But yeah, I don't remember his name. Soul.
Yeah.
Solo.
CeeLo.
No,
Salo.
Say. Oh, hold on. Salo, Sasai. Oh, I got it later.
What?
I got it.
Okay. But yeah,
Salo, CC. Oh no, I got it. No, you keep going. I'll mute myself.
Okay. But yeah, we do see that Mbessa and Salo are like working together. And she's got sort of like she's been acting really desperate because what's going on with her? Like there was the Rose crew or some crazy shit like that. What were they called? Hold on a second.
The Perm Gang. No, I'm joking.
The botanists.
The Perm Gang.
That's right. After a failed assassination attempt on Mbisa, the Black Rose, a Noxian cabal abducts Mel. I know some of those words. Apparently, the Black Rose is a Noxian cabal. But we don't really. I don't know anything about Noxia or
cabal.
Black Rose. I guess we'll learn more about.
I think it's basically. Let's just simplify it. We got some red witches.
Got red witches,
space witches.
Yeah, and
space witches.
That aesthetic was really cool when we see her get abducted. When like her homegirls like turn around and she says, "Black Rose."
Yeah, it was some exorcist shit going on there.
Yeah.
Well, and I took the rose coming out of her palm like that. It immediately made me think of the black spot, which is pirates would give you a literal black spot, and that meant you were marked for death.
Yeah.
Black spot. Sorry.
Yeah, we've all seen
fantastic Jack Sparrow there. Yeah. Yes, but they would actually do this. They would give you like a parchment with a black spot on it.
Yeah,
they were fucked up. They were like, I'm gonna do some mob shit before the mob exists.
That was my Muppet Treasure Island impersonation, though, guys.
Tomato.
I've got cabin fever. I've got it too.
And that second guy, he's like the MVP.
Oh my god. Do you think Johnny Depp's inspiration of Jack Sparrow was the Muppets?
Yeah, he got it halfway from that and half of it from what's his name? Keith Richards.
Keith Richards, yeah.
And half of it, the other half was Johnny Depp. Don't get it twisted. That's just Johnny Depp.
There's a lot of Johnny in there.
But Johnny's Johnny Depp and Johnny Walker Black.
The two Johnnies, the Johnny Depp story. Like we do. Sorry, I do want to bring up this one scene really quickly.
I wanted to hear his Johnny Depp.
Oh, sorry.
I don't have one. I was going to say though, at one point Johnny Depp lived in Austin, and the apartment he lived in is now the Museum of the Weird.
The Museum of the Weird? I don't know what.
Mm-hmm. They have like a mummified mermaid.
A mummified mermaid?
Mm-hmm. An Iceman who is evidently still on ice. Pancho Villa's trigger finger.
And these are real things, not just like toys.
These are
they're real.
These are
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know about a mummified mermaid, dog. That sounds fake as hell.
You know what? Oh man, let me. Oh, that wasn't the button. That's not the right one. We need order in here. Order.
order. Yeah, I do want to ask you guys about this scene, because one of the things I mentioned in my first review of review of the first season of Arcane, I was like, this show is kind of gay, because like they almost went all the way there
Right.
with it.
Wasn't all. It was It was kind of. It was.
Yeah,
as Fred Sanford would say,
there was a lot of gay baiting, but they seemed like they were just seemed a little withholding about going all the way with just like having their relationship be really realized, that between Vi and Caitlyn. So like I was happy to see them go just like that little step further and just appease little nerds like me. I just want to play this clip real quick.
Everyone in my life has changed. Promise me you won't change.
Gay.
Yeah, I thought that was like a cool moment.
Hey, man, I'm not too proud to say that when the first time I ever heard like queer baiting or gay baiting, I just thought that meant somebody masturbates to gay porn.
It's queer baiting. Just combine the two together. No, that's not what it means.
But I can be honest with y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. That's the last thing I really have to say about this.
But no, I appreciated like just them moving forward, like actually be able to realize their relationship before things just go tragically wrong and they end up like on the wrong side of the argument later on. But what did you think about the relationship between? Because you're just jumping into this, Mikey.
Exactly. I want to know what Jeff thought. Because wait, his Mikey. Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
Yeah. What did you think of the relationship between Vi and Caitlyn?
I think I'd say I've done a pretty good job of pointing out that that's hot.
I think my stance is pretty clear on this. My record shows.
It's interesting. It's interesting, and they're doing another good job of. We obviously didn't see it till episode 3, but showing how when they obviously care about each other. I don't know if they had a relationship in season 1, but now that they're developing a relationship or deepening it, showing what happens when the person you care about starts becoming someone you don't recognize. Obviously, Vi is not okay with the stuff Caitlyn or whatever the fuck her name is doing, and let's just see where it keeps going. I think it's going to go to. I think the obvious solution or destination, I guess, is by the end of it, Vi's going to have to turn on Caitlyn because she can't support someone who is the ends justify the means sort of thing, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually want to just play because I do want to just play one clip from the first season because like we get a lot of moments where Caitlyn and Vi are almost about to kiss, but I feel you can just see like the compare and contrast between like this clip I just showed.
Liz, thank you. Oh, our nips just touched. Mine are so hard.
Mine are different sizes.
So you can see how like that differs from this new season, like how they just like they went a little step further and made it a little bit more romantic. That just seemed like it was more played for laughs than anything. But we're gonna what happens later on in the episode. Oh, I do want to talk a little bit about Victor, because he does turn into Magic Mutant Jesus.
Magic Mutant Jesus, Magic Mutant Jesus.
Like after he calls out of the
Mutant Jesus is all right with me. Magic Mutant Jesus is all right. Yep.
Yeah, I like it. gonna sing those hymns every Monday,
every Thursday at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Pacific time.
But yeah, like, what did you think of this Mikey? Because it seems like he's starting to garner himself a little cult following since he can, I guess, heal people now with his crazy powers.
Well, it turns out carbonite genital warts turns you into magic mutant Jesus. Who would have thunk?
Yeah, boy.
We tested everything else, but yeah, it was just Jabba the Hutt genital warts. There you go. That was the solution. And now we know, you know.
And knowledge is power.
No, obviously he's exactly and knowing's half the battle. Obviously, with his healing powers or whatever, it seems like in a show like this, it's going to start off the traditional, like he's going to be, people are going to him for healing. Then people are going to start worshiping him. Then it feels like it's just going to be, you know, another religious oligarch into holy war. At least that's where I see it going. It also, I think a part of it that's also important is Magic Mutant Jesus was already, when he was walking out of it, the way he's like seeing things differently makes it really seem like he's going to just kind of go off the deep end.
Yeah, and he seems like kind of one of those characters who would like start off good, benevolent, and then just make that turn once they get enough power, or just drunk on their perception and their idea of how to make the world a better place. And we see a lot of that just throughout this show. Just like I like you mentioned before, or like Athelia's mentioned before in the chat, all of these characters are kind of terrible in their own way. Like even though there are some characters except for Echo and Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger, yes. Which they boys.
Hey boys, yeah. I would watch
boys being boys.
I would watch a TV show with just like Echo and Heimerdinger just hanging out doing weird shit.
Spin off. Let's get it going, Netflix. Let's get it going.
But yeah, I just like the
I'm going to take my new pupil on a new adventure.
Yeah, I do like the I forgot what I was gonna say, but we'll move on to like toward the end, Caitlyn's team raids Jinx's childhood arcade, and then Jinx escaped after spotting Vi in full enforcer attire, causing her to break down. Now, obviously, Jinx and Vi are on way different sides of the track now, since even like this events of the first season drew them very far apart. What do you think of how are you liking, just like as a new viewer, Mikey, the relationship between Jinx and Vi? Can you feel
you're getting worked on this show right now? You're getting worked on this.
It's interesting because we're not set up with a lot of explanation. So there's parts where it was confusing for me. It very much obviously feels like Jinx and Vi are sisters, but then at one point it's like, oh, but you killed my sister. And it's like, okay, but isn't it in the way like Vader killed Anakin sort of situation?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly
kind of what I figured, but yeah. But they did a good job showing both of their struggle. Obviously, we saw it with V. She wasn't able to shoot at Jinx, and then I know that Jinx was obviously getting poisoned at the same time, but I think that tear was also a part because it's her sister who's doing it. Yeah. I felt like they just did a really good job of showing the fact that these two feel like they're in a situation where they have to fight each other and be opponents, and neither of them wants to or is even a little bit committed to it.
And Alex, if I'm right or am I wrong, and the gray doesn't really fuck with the gray doesn't really fuck with certain people down below, because they have like kind of an immunity to it because they done basically breathing in terrible shit their whole life.
I feel like there's some sort of explanation of that, because we do see the effects of the gray on some people, like how the people that Victor was healing. They obviously been affected by the gray and the pollution. And there are other people whose like faces are all fucked up because of like their addiction to whatever drug that they're was some shit that they were.
It's that purple stuff.
Sniffing.
And I don't mean to say that shit to be funny.
It's that purple.
As soon as I said it, I was like, God damn it. So that, I'm so, you know what? Moments like these, I'm actually glad we're not famous. I do not want a fucking viral video of me going around saying it's the purple stuff.
It's that purple stuff.
But yeah, it's that
Bill,
purple
I
stuff.
feel like your description. Bill, I feel like your description of like, oh, they're immune to it because they're just around it all the time is like that firefighter who walks through a fire without a mask on because he smoked so many fucking cigarettes.
Like, I'm used to this.
Hey, he said, back on the Upper East Side, we used to talk like this because, mainly because of my grandfather. He smoked so many cigarettes, but I've been working as a firefighter.
I just ate myself a whole pack of cigarettes. I just walking through a fire. I
saved myself $700 last month.
Watch that house burn to the ground. I guess this guy's a sociopath in this joke.
So moving on. Might as well just move on to the penguin after that.
I watched it all burn to the ground.
Yeah, we're doing our best Gotham City accents right now.
I was, yeah. Well, never mind. I don't want to say where I was doing my accent from. Terrible people.
What happens next? Oh yeah, like so. One thing I did really want to get to.
Yeah, what did you want to get to?
The echoes
to shoot a child.
Actually, yeah, like since we are talking about Vi and everybody, Vi and Jinx and Caitlyn, let's talk about that.
The love triangle.
Yeah, love triangle of romantic and platonic love or familial love.
Just it's weird because that's what it is. It's like Jinx is like mad that her sister has fallen in love with this other girl because she hasn't seen her sister in X amount of years. Let's say, what was it, like 10 or 12 years or something that they hadn't seen each other. Then she sees her and then she's jealous. Now that transfers over to this season and she still wants to kill Caitlyn and Caitlyn still wants to kill her, but they both love Vi and Vi wants both of them to love each other and just can we all just get along?
You know,
Bill, no one wants to hear your supernatural fan fiction, man.
Yeah, what I kind of saw this as a like sort of a Captain America Civil War situation where Vi is Captain America, Jinx is Bucky, and Caitlyn is Iron Man.
Stark.
Yeah, because he's like, nah, she killed my mom. Everything else, like, I don't really give a fuck. It's like I know we're supposed to like do this, and that. Maybe cuff her and take her in because they cuffed those other guys and brought them in.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlyn was like, "Nah, she has to die right now." So I thought that was.
Then Tony Stark tries to fuck Cap. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes, that's right. I'm so glad that you said it. I'm so glad that you said it. Get one of these today, sir. Get one of these. This is like a sticker when you go to work or when you go to school.
Work.
They give you a sticker. I wish they would give us a sticker at work. It'd probably be a little bit better. Make me feel a little better.
I'd try harder.
Who doesn't love stickers?
Who doesn't love stickers?
But yeah, like we get this moment where Caitlyn or Vi could easily kill Jinx. But then she's saved by Isha, which is like the little girl that Jinx saved earlier in the episode. And there's sort of a little Mexican standoff between Caitlyn, Vi, and Isha and Jinx. Essentially, Caitlyn ends up shooting the gun out of Isha's hand. Her and Jinx escape while they set off this huge explosion. We'll talk about that in a moment. But what did you guys think about just like that moment of Caitlyn just kind of going across the line?
Well, to Othelius's point, they had already crossed the line. You know, Othelia said they literally gassing motherfuckers, harassing citizens, and Kate said, "quote It's in your blood." Quote.
Yeah, that was
moving like the goddamn Gestapo.
That was wild to hear her say that.
What did you feel, Jeff? Because I'm like I said, I'm just interested to what you think because you've never. This is coming from a naked perspective.
So, I mean, no matter what, Kate's in the wrong. Now, the one thing I'm wondering is, in Kate's mind, is she like, I'm that good of a shot, there's no way that child's in danger? Or is she like, but even if I'm not, fuck that kid? Like, I'm a little curious. I would like to obviously know her mindset, which obviously you can't know. It's in their mind. But it doesn't matter, because part of it's never easy being the moral upstanding character when they're going for low blows. But that's why it's important. That's what makes you a hero as opposed to like the Punisher. That's the difference between Captain America and the Punisher. You want to be Cap? You can't shoot at kids. I'm sorry. You want to be the Punisher? Well, you can fucking kill him. Whatever.
Right. You want to be Spider-Man? You can't eat brains, Venom. You can't do it. You can't do it.
I mean, there's a zombie Spider-Man story where he.
Oh man,
and
that's gonna be a lot of work on What If. Jesus Christ.
And then right after that moment, Civica, who I want to talk about. Actually, I just want to play this clip real quick of Civica just to show off the animation style and this crazy arm that Jinx bought her. And you can just see Civica being annoyed.
Push a button.
Yeah, just like spectacular animation.
It was awesome.
You could just see how she's so annoyed. It's like, you put speakers in this.
Yeah, it was a great little. You know what? And knowing the reason I'm like fascinated with what Jeff is going to think or has thought is because I was watching this thinking he wasn't gonna watch season 1. I was like, he's probably not gonna watch season 1. I was like,
correct.
But I was like, but if in the off chance that he does watch it, you know, it'll be cool to see what he thought about season 1. But now knowing that you didn't watch it, I'm just curious as to how. Well, I'm not even going to talk about how curious I am. I'm just going to speak to the fact that I felt like there wasn't much that they needed to explain, or they did a good job of showing and not telling. Mm-hmm. To make it feel like the person who never watched this series before, boom, you're just in here. Come on, join, pull up a seat, join this ride with us.
Yeah, the only part where I really felt lost was literally the opening of the first episode. I was like, huh?
Like, something just happened, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I will say the chick with the badass arm and the speakers, I do think they made a pretty glaring mistake there. I think the song should have been "I Need a Hero." Other than that, though,
and that was another scene where I liked the music, but then the lyrics kept coming in, and there's like, "Oh, this is a pop song."
Yes,
I don't like the vibe. They also changed the song in the middle of the fight, which I thought was kind of silly as well. But
payment,
these are different.
It felt like that matched Jinx's personality, though. That Jinx would have it, so it's like, well, I mean, yeah, who wants to hear an entire song?
Both the type of song.
She's and the avatar of ADHD.
She is the poster child for ADHD. If you go to Comic-Con or any con,
there were a lot of people with Jinx at LA Comic-Con for sure.
Yeah, not gonna lie. All of the cosplayers that I follow because I admire their art and not because they're sexy women were cosplaying Jinx this week.
Crazy, right?
Wait, as Ophelia said in the chat, the second one was Jinx's theme song. The second one was Jinx's theme song from the game. Okay.
Oh,
that's interesting.
Shit.
Dropping a little
They got the full one.
Yeah, that
fully
was approved by NBC.
Fully. Damn, nigga, why you say that name?
I mean, like nobody
Come on,
recognizes
man.
the
Just
peacock.
don't say the algorithm. Come on, man.
Yeah, sure.
Just do us a favor.
But at the end of the episode, Sevica detonates Jinx's paint bombs and opens an air duct, spreading the gray across Piltover as she escapes with Jinx and Isha. Vi and Caitlyn are blown away and split up after fighting over Vi's interference. So yeah, like that, they do end up going through a lot of shit together, Caitlyn and Vi. Now they're split apart. But more importantly, like Gray is all over the surface world of Piltover now. So like what do you guys think is gonna happen in the next few episodes? As far as like now the corruption from below is now above.
Can't really predict anything what's going to happen going forward. What I'm interested in is Victor Al-Said.
Yeah.
Victor Al-Said. That's what we're gonna call him. What we gonna call him? Because he's Jesus. That's
I thought we called him, Mutant Jesus.
Magic Mutant Jesus.
Magic Mutant Jesus.
Yeah.
MMJ.
MMJ.
MJ.
MJ. Yeah. MMJ, otherwise known as MJ. His mama named him MJ. I'm gonna call him MJ. So yeah, I'm interested to see what's going on with that, because ultimately from the first episode, we realized this shit's about magic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the first episode basically clearly shows us that in season 1. And with his name, what's his name? The little what's he supposed to be? Mexican guy? Jace.
The scientist.
Yes, the scientist. He's saved by magic at the beginning of the first season. So very interested to see what happens going forward with that story. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I'm also excited to see what's gonna happen with Echo, Jace, and Heimerdinger, and like see what's happening with that alternate universe orb thing, and what's gonna happen there. That seemed like a scene from Quantumania. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with that specifically, and see where that goes. But what about you, Jeff? Anything you're interested in these next 3 episodes?
I have literally no fucking clue. I'm just excited to watch them. It looks fun. I enjoyed the first 3, even though being rather confused for a good amount of it. Still, it was a good thing. No part of it makes me want to play the game.
Same.
I've heard that it's nothing like the game, so don't. It's like the cut. It's like the action promo cut sequences that they like make to promote the game, but the game isn't actually like that.
Othelia said,
I will say I went to look up like the champions, because I was like, who are these characters? And holy shit, after like 12 full page scrolls, I wasn't out of the bees. There's too many.
God damn.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with that world. Athena said in the chat, Kate went full-blown Nazi, preying on her downfall.
We know what he's looking forward to.
And I
JV Jesus Victor. Jesus Victor.
And
Victor Jesus.
I do like it in
Jesus Victor.
In these kind of stories where 2 people fall in love and you kind of fall in love with both characters, and then one of them just is like turns into a villain essentially. It's like, well, damn, you were so cool just a moment ago. So you're kind of in the same boat as their better half. It's like, damn, like it was all cool just a week ago, and now you're showing your true colors, and I hate you. In the chat, sorry,
I wasn't going to
not really into tabletop.
Not really
WoW
into
style
tabletop wild style games. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Neither am I. But that's as far as I'll go into it. Not hating on nobody's stuff now. Not yucking nobody's
Leroy Jenkins. That was the best thing the World of Warcraft brought the world.
I don't even know.
Oh, that's where it's from?
I think it is. It's from one of those kinds of games.
You know what?
Wow, that I really know and enjoy is the South Park episode.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty good episode. I did want to mention before we get off this topic, because it's gonna just touch on it real quick, because it's the end of each one of these episodes. We see this creature or character in dark green atmosphere where he's like taking wolves' hearts and plugging them up to shit, and it looks like he's trying to make some sort of wolf man hybrid at the end of the episode.
He used the lady who old girl who Black Mama, she cut the throat of that lady with the shit coming out her nose. I think he used that to plug up into the heart, and now he's got it pumping to keep some kind of heart going. Somebody is needing a heart. I think he's putting somebody's body back together. Maybe Silco.
I was kind of
maybe
thinking it was Silco too.
Silco was the villain in the first season,
because he did look like it looked like one of his eyes was like a false eye, like Silco's was.
But we'll see. We'll have to see. We shouldn't spend much more time on that though.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it is.
No, you're actually right.
You're absolutely right.
You're absolutely right. I forgot about it because I was like, I don't really know until I saw that heart thing. And then I was like, I'm not going to think about it too much. There will be more episodes.
Yeah, there will be more. But guys, let us know what you thought of Arcane. Did you watch the first season? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you excited to see what's going to happen next? I know I am. I don't know why I said it like that. But we're going to move on to...
Do you ever get nervous?
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Continue. My joke was late.
I'm gonna talk.
That was like some "Do you need an adult?" shit.
Yeah.
Blink twice if you need help. But we're gonna move on to our last topic of the night. That's right. We're gonna go back to Gotham and talk about the Penguin. That's right, guys. It's the fucking finale, y'all. Episode 8 of the Penguin. This was pretty crazy. Some of the things that we predicted came true. Some of them did not. But Bill, what were your initial thoughts on this finale?
My initial thoughts were, this shit is crazy. But also, my real initial thoughts were they did a really good job putting this together, piecing this together. Shout out to Colin Farrell because he also was an executive producer on this. What was the dude's name? Josh LaRoe? The director, the writer?
Lauren LeBlanc. Lauren LaFranc.
Lauren LaFranc. I knew it was some French Canadian shit going on. But yeah, shout out to them. They did a great job. I couldn't see who the showrunner was, but it's probably the same guy.
Yeah, Lauren LaFranc. She's writer, showrunner.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. But yeah, they did a great job with this. I loved how we got a powerful woman, but at the same time, spoiler alert, they didn't kill her off for the benefit of just making our villain more villainous. Mm-hmm. They're keeping another card in the shuffle. I mean, another card in the deck to be shuffled around later for Batman's Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
And it'll just, keep on keeping on rotating like the earth on its axis. And it'll keep rotating until the earth spin off its axis and spin off into the universe and balls off into a dust of ash. Sorry, that's a Black Dynamite quote. And if it was long, it's not because of me, it's because it's Black Dynamite. Not my fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was your initial thoughts there, Mikey?
Now, I wasn't able to catch the last 10 minutes of the episode, but I'm just really glad that, Sophia and Victor just had like a nice happy ending. And I was really, really excited that they were able to figure out a way to do that. Yeah. No, I loved it. It was absolutely fantastic. I mean, on IMDb, this episode alone has over 10,000 votes, and it is rated a 9.7. And I gotta tell you, that's a pretty fair rating. This was as close to a perfect episode of TV and a season finale as I can think.
There hasn't been a fucking season like this since like Boardwalk Empire or The Sopranos or fucking Oz or the Wire, something like that. Like we got to go back in the bag to find television this good, this riveting.
Sons of Anarchy. I was getting a lot of Sons of Anarchy.
Vibes. Yeah. This just outperforms Sons of Anarchy for me.
Oh, it does.
And shout out to the writers on that show, but maybe it's not the writing, maybe it's the performances, but or maybe it's the budget, right?
Yeah,
because there's a lot of money going around. There's a lot of money going around.
Yeah. And this show has the benefit of being just like it's already drawing you in because it's based off of a comic book character, so it's a little different. And this is just a newer show, like you said, and it's got a bigger budget. But I did see some moments where sometimes in Sons of Anarchy where you're like, how is Jax gonna get out of this? And then he pulls witty behind the scenes shit, and everything works out. It's like, yeah, it seems like a Jax move. But we'll talk about the Jax move later on.
Jax was a better person,
for sure.
Yeah.
Which, it's a pretty big thing to say because he was not a good person.
He wasn't great. He wasn't a perfect person, Alex. You want a nigga to be perfect.
Hey, that last season, he just kind of went off the rail. He was ghost riding the whip. And
that doing whatever he could to get his family.
Literally at the end.
Yeah.
Doing whatever he could for his family.
For his family. But speaking of family.
Shout out to Charlie, friend of the show.
Yeah, shout out to Charlie. Great actor.
I met him for real. Friend
so
of the show.
Yes, yeah.
I really did meet him. He was friend of the show for real.
But yeah, let's talk about the beginning of this episode. Using EMG therapy, Rush learns that Francis already knew about Oz drowning his brothers and tried to have them killed, but could not bring herself to do it. Oz is
damn friend.
Damn Francisco. That's not a thing. Oz is brought to Sophia, who makes Francis confess the truth. Before I get your opinions on this, I do want to play this clip of Christina Milioti talking about the scene between Penguin and his mom.
What they had to do and say to each other, it's like this ultimate unmasking. Sophia is witnessing him hearing things from his mother that he can never unhear.
You're the goddamn devil.
And that's a really heartbreaking scene. I'm kind of sad that this isn't a Hugo Strange storyline because it seems like some fucked up shit that Hugo Strange would do.
His mama said,
people psychologically
goddamn devil.
You're the goddamn devil. That's a big thing. Says it right before she stabs him in the gut. What did you think of that scene between Penguin and his mom?
Well, it was very well. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. At that point, I was like, "They're doing some great acting here. This is some great acting." But I already know what's about to happen. I mean, so let's get there. Let's just get there. Come on. She's about to die. He's about to let it happen. But the way they got about that, and he's gonna get out of this somehow. He's the fucking Vic from the Shield.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, Big Mackey.
He's Big Mackey. He's gonna get out of this somehow. We know it, right? Because first of all, because it's his fucking show. We know that. So I get it may be 20, 30 seconds. It was too long for me. But The way he hulked up and got out of that fucking chair.
He turned into fucking John Wick all of a sudden. The movie was jumping all over the place.
He reminded me of that kid that you be picking on, and he was like everybody saw that kid when in elementary school when y'all were somebody was picking on him, everybody was picking on him, y'all was sitting there watching everybody pick on him, and then he just fucking hulked up one day and started yelling and crying and just started beating the shit out of everybody. That was the Penguin.
Yeah.
He said,
He had that angry boy energy
crying.
come out of nowhere.
Yes. That's all that happened.
Yeah, I love that scene.
But
yeah, then later
he killed everybody except for 2 people. He killed everybody that wasn't getting paid half of what he's getting paid.
But yeah, like I'm curious at what you thought about the scene, Mikey, because Oz, like even with threatening Francis's fingers, he refuses to admit that he killed his brothers. Like he's kind of forced to admit that. Like, what did you think about that? Just like as a character moment for Penguin.
So that's an interesting scene because every single person is like, what the fuck? Just do it. Just admit it already, man. But I think, and this is because of how good of an actor Colin Farrell is, I think that it came across that Penguin really thought he could just talk his way out of it. I think Oz is so narcissistic. He was convinced if he just kept to his story that Sophia would back down, or that the doctor wouldn't cut the finger off, or something like that. It's just no part of him was compromising. No part of him was like, I mean, like, okay, but you gotta like stop it. I'll tell you what you want. Every part of him was committed to it, and it made I think it is 100% due to the fact that Colin Farrell is such a good actor that I believed that Oz thought, if I just keep denying, I'll get what I want.
Yeah, I think to that point, I feel like a little bit less. He felt like it was just going to not happen. I feel like he just, like Sophia said, to a degree, he didn't give a shit if it happened. Like, he's like, look, as long as I don't have to die in this chair, I'll let him take her pinky. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. I'm not doing anything I want to do.
It's just a pinky.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to do anything I want to do. I don't want to die. I don't want to talk about this shit. So take the pinky. I didn't like Ma's pinky anyway. It's got that weird bump on it on the end. Just take that. Like she'll be fine.
Like, could you take the one for the left hand?
But also, I think to a certain degree, like this is a segue, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to see exactly how they do this. To a certain degree, I felt like it was him kind of wanting to do what he ends up doing to Vic later, which was sever a piece of himself that he loves so much. He can't do it himself. He knows he can't bear to actually kill his own mom, to actually like leave her behind or leave her to the hospitals or some shit. He can't do that on his own, like, because he had plenty of opportunities to put her in a hospital and all this stuff.
Right.
And I feel like maybe he was thinking, maybe they'll put her out of her misery to put me out of my misery. Right. I think that's how he was kind of looking at it a little bit too.
That's an interesting point, because he did even like promise to her earlier in the season, like once she gets to a point where she can't take care of herself, he's like that she's like basically promised to kill me before I get to that point, because I want to enjoy life. I don't want to be a vegetable.
Yeah, but I don't think that came into play when he was thinking about it, because that's the reason she's crying at the end in the balcony. I mean, in the penthouse, looking out, because she's in a vegetative state, and exactly what she didn't. It's exactly what he promised he wouldn't do, and she's sitting there, and she's also, I mean, I think it has less to do with him being like the devil, as she said, because she dealt with that for years. I think she could have dealt with that for a few more years if she had her wits about her and she wasn't, in a vegetative state. So what was I saying about? Oh, I was swinging it over to Vic. So yeah, how did we feel about Vic? I was wrong. I said Vic was gonna make it to season 2, or at least the next Batman movie. He didn't. He was deader than a doornail. But I think it was this episode that made him officially die. He knew too. He saw him cry about his mom, saw him crying like a little bitch. Woo! He was crying a lot.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying. He was crying about his mom, so it's okay. We all gonna have. We lost our father. We all gonna lose our parents one day, but it was clear that this dude's delusions hadn't even allowed him to just come to some kind of conclusion or come to grips with that.
Yeah,
he just everything that he had been doing and working for at this time just broke down. And I think that's why Vic ended up dying. How did y'all feel about it? Jeff? How did you ended up feeling about Vic's demise?
I feel like Oz's rationalization and everything, they all make perfect sense, obviously in his mind. And I think it was the dumbest fucking move he could have made. He had such a loyal lieutenant, and this kid isn't even trying to get the lieutenant status or anything, He's not trying to move up or anything. He's just trying to be there and get what you're giving him. Bro, you don't put down your trusted second in command when you can still get so much more out of him. You don't kill him when he's literally the only thing he wants is to make your life better. I think there's going to be times, I don't think we're going to see it, but I think there's going to be times when if he hadn't killed Vic, there will be times in the future, especially with Batman coming back, Vic would have 100% tried to give you time to get away from the bat. You're fucked, and you're stupid, and you're short-sighted.
Right. Yeah, I think that, to my point, that's the reason he had to he decided he needed to kill Vic, right? Like, he was just like, well, what if the Batman wants to get to you through me? Like, it's kind of that force, because he cares about it too much. And I've been caring about a lot of people, and this has been a lot harder than it should have been. If I didn't care about all you people, then this would have been a lot easier. So
I will say this about Vic's death. Way too many shows are like, I'm going to choke you. Dead. So I like that they showed that it is not a quick, don't get me wrong. It still would have taken a lot longer than they showed, but I like how they didn't show it was a fast process. They showed it was a long one. And also just there's a literal struggle there. I thought that was a good job. One, I just like that they showed that, considering no one does. But two, I think it also made it hit so much harder. If you just put a bullet in Vic, we would have been like, are you fucking kidding me? Instead, we're sitting there maybe he can get out. Maybe he can find a way. Maybe he can pull at the hand. And that made it way more painful for us.
Yeah, it makes it way more, it's more vicious, right?
Yeah.
It's hand-to-hand. Combat is way more vicious than a gunshot, even though it's probably more painful as well, being strangled to death.
Yeah,
for any amount of time, right? But yeah, it just made it to where he also had, to your point, maybe he'll let him go. That mindset that you have, that also shows you well, no, he never had any intention of doing any of that. He's willing to sit there as long as it takes to make sure this kid is dead afterwards. And then the symbolic, well, first of all, then he takes his money. I've seen people talk about it online. It's oh, he takes his money because he's a terrible person. I think he takes the money so that it looks like he got robbed.
Exactly.
He drops the wallet takes the money and takes the ID and throws it into the river, symbolizing that this dude don't fucking matter, and he'll just go on as Jane Doe. The only other person who knew who he was Squid.
Yeah, he shot him in the neck.
Yeah, he did.
An old girl, and she left. She left Gotham.
Yeah, she's gone.
She went to California too. She didn't even go to like
Bloodhaven.
Yeah.
Or Bloodhaven or somewhere close.
Yeah. She's fucking gone. I do want to play this clip of Lauren LaFranc, the showrunner, and the actor who plays Victor, just talking about that scene a little bit.
Victor has seen Oz at his most vulnerable. Someone seeing his vulnerability feels like a weakness. And in Oz's opinion, he cannot achieve what he needs to achieve if he has those weaknesses around.
It made me, reading the scripts, go, wow, this guy's worse than I thought.
It is a weakness of the highest order. It is a weakness. You must rip it from your soul.
Yeah, it was a terrible, terrible scene. Like I was expecting Victor to go out, but I wasn't expecting it to go like that. But yeah, I guess
I knew he was dead when he said, you know, you're like family to me. He goes, oh fuck. It's like because when he's having to kill somebody he doesn't want to kill, he's got this face. I know it's hard to tell. It's like that one gold tooth starts showing on one side, and he's like, he gets this look in his eye, like, and he did that same face, except there's a little bit more villainous looking when he was getting ready to kill Alberto.
Oh yeah.
It's that little tweaks, that little twitch that he gets, and he's like, something is about to fucking go down.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, like for him. Yeah, he kind of does like have a switch that gets turned.
Rest in peace, man. Hopefully my dude get a Marvel movie, man.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He definitely did a great job in this show.
He's had a Marvel role.
Oh, who is he?
The Runaways. He's the main kid.
Oh, no one's seen that show.
The Runaways.
It was a Hulu show a long time ago. It wasn't even Disney. It was Hulu.
I legit have no fucking idea what you're talking about. What were you wanting to see this?
Yeah, because I told Harvey that we were going to answer this question earlier when we were talking about this.
Harvey's been gone
a little bit.
Harvey
Harvey's probably gone.
Harvey said, this nigga ain't answered the goddamn thing.
He asked, did you guys get mad when the penguin yelled at the nurses? He needs to have more respect for the healthcare workers.
Did I get mad? Let me tell you something. Actually, leave that up there. Leave that comment up there.
Oh,
because I don't know. Do they got free healthcare in Gotham?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how.
Oh, come on, really?
that was part of the renewal fund.
Everything about that world's worse, but they've got free healthcare.
I mean, does the country as a whole in this universe?
Yeah.
So that would be a partial question.
Which, by the way, Bruce, you want to make the world a better place? Give America free healthcare. You can afford it.
Quit being a fucking asshole. Run for president or some shit, asshole.
Man, he would never make it.
Well,
would get vetted out of there.
No, you just get Nightwing to be president. I mean, you get Nightwing to be Batman until you get elected. And then when you're elected, you're never seen as president, really. So who cares?
Hey, this could work.
Look, I made it.
I smell a story, a comic book story.
Comic book storyline.
All I'm saying is, I think our future job is as campaign managers.
Yeah,
right. I mean, come on. Lex Luthor was the president. Bruce Wayne could be president. Come on.
Yeah,
we could do this.
Well, I'll say this. It feels like they're also setting Oz up for that mayoral run, considering he sits in the chair.
Looks like that's going to be the next, what do you call it? Storyline for for the next movie. For the next movie. I think like, a partial storyline could be, Cobblepot running for mayor. Batman having to try to figure out a way to stop that from or stymie that in some kind of way. Belay that.
Belay that.
Lay that fucking beat. No. Anyway.
But to answer Harvey's question, I did not. I should have. I absolutely should have gotten that. I did not.
Did not care about them goddamn workers. I did think, God damn, my nigga, why are you yelling at the bitch? She just is in there trying to tell you what happened.
I was thinking about what she thought when she left. She's like, she's probably just like, that poor man. He's losing his ball.
No, I think she walked out. She's like fucking hell, I'm getting a doctor.
Yeah. She probably walked out. She said, he don't even know doctor on his break.
I'm about to go take a shit.
Dr. Matheson's on his break. I'm about to go my break to take a shit.
But I do want to play like because like speaking of the like things tying into the next movies, we get Rush. You know, he goes back to Arkham to tend to Sophia as she's now a prisoner there again. And she gets a letter from her half sister Selena Kyle. So this might
that was my one prediction I got right. Well, I'm saying I got it right. A note is a cameo.
Yeah, that counts. That counts. I just want to play this clip real quick of her, getting her letter.
Liz, thank you. Our nips just touched.
So yeah, that was a really heartwarming moment, like where she's
heartwarming
now have
because they titties.
No, that was her getting the letter, like where she was like, she's like, oh, I have a half sister out there.
I'm so excited for the one Halloween. Alex sees a woman dressed as that and has a fucking aneurysm from how turned on he is.
Let me tell you something. That's why Kamala didn't get elected, is because you played that clip.
That's the reason.
That was the reason. You
played
like
30 Rock.
I was out. I was asking at the exit polls.
Like, we got the documents to prove.
Ophelia said, I repressed the memory of that clip. He's like, yes, but it will never die. Books of Jersey Purse said, I'm annoyed Vic died. I would have liked seeing his rise into the underbelly of Gotham. Yeah, it would have been cool.
But you're supposed to be annoyed, and we're supposed to hate Penguin more.
Yeah, and it shows it's just another layer of how he's different from Batman. They've both gone through childhood traumas, and it's affecting the way they move now. But Batman, he's the kind of person who takes on a Robin. Penguin, he's the kind of person who kills someone because he loves them too much.
Kills her own.
Yeah,
right.
Somebody on the IMDb trivia put up there that the spoiler, he kills Vic, and it's like, yep, that's pretty big spoiler, buddy. But anyway, in it they said that the point of it was to take him from being a protagonist in the show back into an antagonist in the movies.
Right. Yes, I'm glad I didn't step on his shit. You see that? I was gonna step on let him say this shit because he coming with the hot fire.
Get that hot fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, man. Yeah, they did a really good job with this show. And the movie is gonna be even more fire because he had to be transformed into the Penguin, right? Killing Vic transforms him into the Penguin, in which he now has his mom and a black woman in slavery at his house in a penthouse in Gotham. Because he's got the black lady, the prostitute.
Yeah.
She's got to pretend to be his mama.
Yeah.
And sleep with him.
I was going to say his, I guess, bang mama. He's fucking to that night. Like, in case somehow this went over the viewers' heads, after saying, hey, let's dance mom, he's gonna fuck mom.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck her later. It's gonna get weird.
Yo, y'all are saying it though.
It's very disturbing. And it's very upsetting. It's like tragic. It's like, man, this guy's really fucked up if he's this disillusioned to think this is an ideal way to carry on your life.
Jeff's point, really the villain next movie.
Yeah, and I
Whole
appreciate.
ass
Yeah, absolutely. He's just straight up.
just
There's
weird.
There's nothing about it.
He might be weirder. He is definitely weirder than the Batman Returns Penguin.
Not yet.
Yeah.
No, he is now with that mama shit. Oh, that's it.
I don't know, man. He's
Well,
not edition. Out.
They ain't killed his
I
brother.
mean,
He's
if
just
it
fucking-
were, if Batman Returns Penguin wanted to fuck his mom, that'd be incest and necrophilia. So,
yeah.
Batman
That's
Returns
yeah,
Penguin.
that's super Scroll Tide.
Scroll Tide.
Super
Scroll
Scroll Tide. And at the end of this, like really crazy scene where he's slow dancing with his mama prostitute. He's on top of the world.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Momstitute.
I'm sorry, I mispronounced. He's having a gay old time. Penguin is
no, that was the last show.
Nice.
Is the he's on top of the world, and then in the shadows, or not in the shadows, in the clouds, you see Batman's bat signal.
You see a light in the darkness
pop up. And it's just a little teaser, let people know.
We didn't see that in the movie, right? There was no bat signal at the end of the movie, right?
I don't remember.
Not the end, no. But that's
so they didn't have. Yeah, so they didn't have. I'm just saying there was no bat signal yet. So we've established.
No, there was a bat signal. I just wasn't at the end. Yeah, it was throughout. But yeah. They had a bat signal.
They had a bat signal. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, Catwoman turns on the bat signal.
Oh yeah. That's right.
But yeah, like I did think that this was a cool moment because it just reminds us that Batman's out there. But I have seen a lot of fans out there. Their sentiment is
that's not good enough.
They wanted to see like the Batman. They wanted to see Jim Gordon. How did you feel about that?
Could not disagree more. The way they did their cameos was perfect. We're not trying to get the movie. We're trying to make a show that is separate and for good reasons. Now, at the end, tying it back in, brilliant. But you don't want to overshoot it. The entire point of this show is about Oz and we'll call it the little people in Gotham. It's not about the big story. That's why it's a show and not a movie. I could not be happier with how they did the letter and the bat signal.
Yeah, because when it comes down to it, it really didn't think about it until this show. But a lot of the premiere stories deal with upper class or white collar criminals more so when it comes to Batman than it does with the blue collar criminals, the everyday guys. Even though he's familiar with these people and knowledgeable of these people, that's mostly because he's got an infinite database of the police database, crime database, if you will. He's a good study, but he really more so deals with white collar criminals. Right. So it's interesting to see the part of Gotham that operates while Batman is unable to be there. He basically only catches these criminals in passing.
Right. Yeah. And I really like the way that they used him or didn't use him in this TV show, because Gotham is a big place. He can't be everywhere. He's like basically one cop.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, they show that it is absolutely a big place.
But one criticism I've heard, even like, and I feel like I have an answer for this, but one criticism I've heard is like with the big explosion in Crown Points, it seems like that's something that Batman would be there for. How did you feel about that, guys? Did you trip up against that at all? It's like, well, there's a big explosion. Batman should show up now. Do you think that we lost this opportunity there, or how do you
go ahead, Joe?
No. First off, there's crime all over Gotham, and it is a big fucking city. Second off, and this is the more important part, it's so soon after the Riddler's attack. I mean, Crown Point still doesn't have power because the seawalls were just blown out. It's Batman's clearly way overwhelmed and doing so much stuff. It makes absolute sense that he wasn't able to. Also, the explosion happened. We picked up right from that. Literally, Vic and all of the other gangs were pulling up as the explosion was getting cleared up, and like people were first responders were first responding. no, I'm sorry. That's a dumb argument. Because everything I just said.
No. You're on it. You're dead on it. I mean, first of all, it happened during the day. That's not.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I mean the Batman would have showed up as a dumb argument.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. And we only have this episode ends in a matter of a day and a half, and the half is the whole episode basically, and then we end up with him what seems to be like the next day with his full now penguin outfit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his tops, his
bow
tie, and the top hat.
Jacket with the tails.
Also, when he put the hat down, he put it on. There were some canes in there, but he put it on an umbrella.
He did. He did.
Fuck! I hadn't even noticed that.
Yeah. So yeah, but kind of forgot what my point was. But
Batman not necessarily showing up right away.
Oh yeah. So basically, you only get like half of a day. Between the time that he gets picked up from the explosion until Sophia goes to jail, that's one day. I mean, that's like the same day, I should say.
Yeah,
it's all the same day. So he got a lot fucking done in half a goddamn day, and he had a concussion clearly. and also he was stabbed in the stomach.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the stomach. Did some basic like Bruce Willis surgery in the.
I will say that's when the prosthetics started looking crazy. Can we not, like, as much praise as the prosthetics got through the first movie? I mean, through the movie, like, can we not stop for 2 seconds to just at least admit that shit was a little crazy looking? Like, I mean, that didn't look like no human being's stomach, right?
I didn't have
like penguins.
That's all I'm saying. Like like there's small moments. If you go back and look, it just doesn't. It's hard to make hair look real hair, and all that kind of stuff.
I'd have to rewatch it. I didn't choke up on that. The part of this episode that did get me was like, all right, way fucking harder to break a bottle than that. And I'm pretty sure he had the action movie issue with the bullets. I'd have to go back and recount his shots, but like. He was just pop, 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 pop. And it was like, okay, it should have like clicked at some point there.
That scene was hilarious to me.
No, he was definitely Jean-Claude Van Damme in his way through that with all the bullets he shot.
By the way, Double Team is still one of the best movies ever made.
Oh man, Future doesn't hold up episode. I that's the part for me where
I have my answer.
I'll fight you over it.
That's the moment where the makeup and the prosthetics were just like a little wonky for me, because like he was just having to do a lot, and it seems like he was moving way faster than he should. Like he wasn't just proportionately. His movement.
Where was your limp?
Yeah, it just like kind of disappeared when he was like jumping around.
That was a stunt guy, so.
But yeah,
I'm just saying. So that's why he was like, "Fuck that."
So the director should have caught it.
No, I'll put it like this. I think that this is when we're seeing super villain come into place, because y'all are talking about the limp. How about he picked his mama up like she weighed nothing, and then shot at people while running out with her like she was a
fireman carrying her.
Yeah, like firemen have way more trouble carrying a human being out of a burning building than he did. That was picking her up on his back with a club foot. He got the same.
He started walking over to her, and then they cut away, and you hear him say, "I got you, ma." They cut back to him, and she over his shoulders.
He just threw that bitch over his shoulders, son. So I'm just saying, I think they were trying, and I'm serious about this. Remember the chair? He busted up out of the chair, all that shit. I think they were trying to display he is getting like he's got this little extra strength to him. Like he done got this,
getting some kingpin body type going there.
Yeah, something like that, because he said it early in the series. You know, my mom's what keeps me good.
Mama, I don't need to lose my mind. You know, she's what keeps me good.
So,
jeez, yeah.
So I think that was the moment where we saw the good explode. Like the good was fully diminished, and now I'm just gonna go crazy. Fuck this limp. That shit don't even hurt. This shit don't even really hurt. I'm just playing the game. What if he really don't have a lip? He just been playing around for his whole fucking life. He's just like, fuck y'all. No, I'm joking.
No. I like when you said that, it just made me think of like the scene earlier. They show actually his foot, like where he takes the sock off and everything. I was like,
it's gross.
Oh yeah, man,
disgusting.
that poor dude. That shit probably does hurt.
Toes thrown up. Sounds. It's gross.
Right.
But before we get out of here, I do want to talk about MVPs of the season.
Jeff, who you got, Jeff?
Interesting. So of the season, I'm sticking with future wife Kirstyn Milioti. I'm just blown away. Like I said, and I think I've said it multiple times, I've seen her in so many comedic roles. And while her Black Mirror episode is technically a dramatic role, I mean, even that one had a lot of levity to it. Seeing her break out of her mold with this character was amazing. And especially after we had that flashback episode of seeing her before the asylum, when she was just like a normal, happy young person, to who she has become because of this, I was blown away with it. I think she's my MVP.
You know what? To that point, there is a clip that I grabbed of hers that I forgot to play, and since I'm ripping it, I'm still gonna play it. Just like her talking about her ending up back in Arkham after spending so much time there.
I always knew Sophia would end up back in Arkham. This is a show about Oz. It's called The Penguin. And you know in some form, he's going to rise above in some way.
It is a fate worse than death for her.
It is a sickness of the highest order.
Is that from?
It's also a sign. It is also a sign of his overwhelming ego and narcissism. Bro, just kill her.
Yeah, she's gonna come back and fuck you up.
No, man, like you can't.
What's next? Is he just gonna start monologuing? Come on, dude.
We don't kill villains on the Batman Rogues Gallery. Now, see, this is what I always have a problem with other creators or people who have taken their creative liberty, fucking up all the storylines and killing motherfuckers. Quit it! Stop! Comic books always have the people come back. So let's just be adults and not kill them in the movie, knowing that we're gonna bring them back some kind of fucking way. Let's just stop killing comic book characters for the most part, unless we're just gonna be dead. So that's what I would say about that.
I appreciate the fact that they kept her alive, because like it would be a shame to develop this really cool villain in this world and then not have her interact with Batman in any way. Like I want to see her interact with Batman at some point.
Well, here's an interesting point. Pretty sure at one point the Hangman is a part of the Suicide Squad.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be awesome. Hey, maybe, I mean, honestly, her and fucking Juice should just change their names to Hugo and Strange. Just like rebrand Hugo Strange.
You want that so bad.
I want it so bad.
Well, then why can't we just cast the Hugo Strange? Why can't they just be the characters that they were?
Well, they're already pulling off that old bit. It'd be weird if somebody starts doing Hugo Strange. They're gonna be like, oh, they stole our material.
No.
Well, speaking of Alex's favorite characters, who are your guys' MVPs?
Oh yeah, Bill, who's your
Master
MVP?
Yeah, my MVP is going to be Alfred. No, I'm joking. my MVP My MVP is Black Alfred. Vic. Vic is my MVP. He did this damn thing. He killed it in this. At certain times he was a scene stealer. So shout out to him. And didn't have a lot of words sometimes and was still stealing scenes. Say that 5 times fast.
Still stealing scenes.
So yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to dude who plays him. Can't remember your name. Come on the show. Hang out with us. Chill out. You ain't got nothing to do. You're an actor. Anyway, Alex, who's your MVP?
My MVP, though I love this whole cast. I'm thinking about adding best ensemble cast category to the Drunkies because I don't want to do
it. Be a 7-hour Drunkies.
Well, I didn't want to do actor categories for everything. I was like, we can just say the whole cast. That makes it a lot easier. So we don't have to do best female actor, best supporting male actor in this episode. But anyway, that all being said, though I love this whole cast, I'm gonna have to give it to Colin Farrell. Like, he's just been amazing throughout this whole show. Didn't think that would even work as far as like a character in the movie, but definitely didn't think that a show would be interesting enough to watch. But man, like, this show kind of rides on his back, like how believable his performance is. So I gotta go with Colin as my MVP.
Well,
I also think it's important to point out all 3 of us had different MVPs, and I could easily make the just as strong of an argument for both of yours as well. Everyone in the show was that good.
Absolutely.
Same.
Even the chief.
You son of a bitch. You're under arrest.
Even Chief smokes a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I rewatched the Batman last night, and I when he gets to that point where he walks up to Batman real slow, he says, "You son of a bitch." I was like, this is the best performance all of cinema.
I really appreciate
it.
Best accent in all of acting.
Oh man, he was born in Gotham. They brought that man through a portal from Gotham City.
Gotham City, yeah.
And now he's an actor.
But
anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we have to say about this season of The Penguin.
What are we talking about next week, Alex?
Oh man, I'm glad that you asked.
God damn it, right. Well, mostly I need to know for myself, but also tell the people.
Yes, actually.
We're going to be continuing our conversation about Invincible Fight Girl. The 3 new episodes of Arcane will be dropping. We'll also be talking about Silo Season 2. If I remember to rewatch all the first season, or I could be
we gotta remember to watch that, huh?
Yeah, or we can be like Mikey and we just like jump into the second season and be completely confused.
Hey, roll tide. But I'm gonna try to burn through that shit.
yeah, I think we can make it. We got a few days. And then on, I think it's November 17th, Dune Prophecy comes out, so I think we'll be talking about that next week as well. So we got a lot to cover, guys. Check us out next week at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Mikey, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
Thank you so much for asking. You can try and Skype me down Cheadle's driveway at littleDicky2.com. It's because
hacker.
You can you can try and find Jeff Madel on Facebook at MadelJeff on Instagram. But as usual, the easiest way to find me is right here on Monday nights while my internet is lagging like a dick.
Well, it's lagging like an mostly erect dick. So,
Bill, we're
still giving that work. Still giving it to you, but it's just not on your time. You know, the stroke be different time.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
I wish
y'all know what I'm talking about out there, especially the listeners.
Bill, where can the people find you on this?
Oh, silly boy, you know where you can find me. You can find me right here every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. 15 at 8:15 p.m. time. And you can also find me right here every Thursday at 8:15 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, come on over, man. Just make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. That way you can catch us live every Thursday and Monday. And always Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but you can catch us right here, man. Hit the button. Fuck, quit playing with your life.
Absolutely.
Get your life together and fucking like us and share it with your cousins.
Hey, yes, thank you for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, but don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Likewise, Letterboxd, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Till next time, stay safe, my little magic mutants, and may the force be with you.
And also,
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go.